Hello, my name is Alex Fazzino, and I'm going to be talking about taboos. The direct definition of a taboo is a social or religious custom that prohibits association with a person, place, or a thing, or it can forbid discussions of certain practices in some cultures. Taboos are somewhat of a social norm, in the respect that there is no law or written rule that explicitly states somebody can't do something, but yet it's somewhat of an expectation that the person doesn't do it. No matter where you are in the world, every single culture has their own set of unique taboos, each with their own backgrounds. Most normally, the three main categories of taboos are food, culture, and religion. In American culture alone, there are many different taboos that can be pointed out. Everything from tipping the waiter at a restaurant, talking about politics at the dinner table, eating dog and horse meat, discussing gun laws, using your phone at the dinner table, and talking about sex in public can all be considered a taboo. So, how can something like tipping a waiter be considered a taboo? The reason it's a taboo is because other cultures across the world don't follow these same practices. Like Australia doesn't tip the waiters at all. And even in places close to us, like Canada, don't even tip the waiter. They use it as an option, not as an expectation. The main thing to take out of this is things like tipping the waiter or other things that Americans find normal, other countries might find strange or weird. Let's look at another example, the Japanese culture. A lot of taboos that are within the Japanese culture may look strange to Americans. For example, in Japanese culture, it's expected that you take your shoes off whenever you're inside a house, and you walk and drive on the left side of the road. Also, it's expected that you don't give gifts that are red or white, due to red symbolizing the color of fire and bad luck, and white symbolizing death and mourning. If you have tattoos in Japan, you will likely get funny looks, because tattoos are only worn by members of the Japanese mafia. Lastly, it's expected that you give gifts in odd numbers, because even numbers are considered unlucky. Taboos exist all across the world, including Germany. Some of the weird taboos that exist in Germany include avoiding small talk at all costs, not jaywalking, showing up on time, and whenever you're at a pub or a bar to raise a toast, and avoiding blowing your nose in public. To Americans, these all sound silly. However, in Germany, these are all customs that people follow without questioning it, similar to Americans tipping waiters. So far, we've only been looking at cultural or social taboos. A good example of a food taboo comes in the Chinese culture, when it comes to their various table manners. These include eating communally or not individually, eating at the same pace as everyone else, and not eating before the host is seated. The most unique one of these is the idea that you don't want to finish all the food off of your plate, because that's a sign to the chef that they didn't make enough food for everybody to be full. Table manners are something that varies vastly in many different cultures, and some table manners that are considered polite in some cultures can be viewed as rude in another. The third type of taboos are religious taboos. In Catholicism, some of the major taboos include premarital sex, abortion, and gay marriage. Catholics view it as a sin to have sex before getting married, and the Catholics believe that it's a murder to have an abortion. Additionally, Catholics tend to be homosexual because they believe marriage should only stay within men and women. While many of their ideas are outdated and frowned upon by modern day society, Catholics stick to these practices due to the fear of supernatural consequences. The main reason that taboos are important to learn about and gain an understanding of is to help us understand different cultures. Every single culture of every single country has their own set of taboos. So rather than frown upon them, it's up to us to learn about them and understand their meaning. People from other countries find it weird that we tip waiters, just the same as we find it weird that people from Germany make efforts to blow their nose in private. To fully understand a culture, we must understand their taboos. Taboos can help anthropologists because it helps them to better fit into cultures they are studying by fully understanding their taboos and acting accordingly. Overall, there's no direct law or rule that says you should act a certain way, but taboos make people act certain ways out of fear of social or supernatural consequences. And this is my bibliography. Thank you guys for listening.